Do you remember this video? Fuck that video. And the reason why we have to revisit that video is, of course, because they completely nerfed the wooden palisades. I'm gonna just give you the example real quick. In the previous video, I was talking nice things about these wooden walls and about sandbags, how sandbags are beautiful because they are, of course, unpenetrable. As you can see, sandbags are unpenetrable and the wooden walls are kinda penetrable. But the main reason why I'm making this video is, of course, because grenade damage is now doing a little bit more damage than it was before to the structures. It is gonna destroy 10% of the HP from the normal walls and 5% from the sandbag barricades. Sandbag barricades got buffed a little bit. It was 10% before, now it is 5%. But the holes in the walls are also 5%. Which means this piece of shit is not worth to build. I mean, it is if you're gonna stack them every 35 meters range because of the blast radius of the grenades. But no matter how many of them you stack them next to each other, grenades are gonna deal damage through the wall, which means you're gonna have to build a big-ass base. But when you build a big-ass base, you're not stealthy, and the whole point and reasoning of playing survival games is to be a predator, not a prey. Of course, if you're playing Mega Zergling clan with a 35 players on 50 slot server, then it kinda doesn't really fucking matter, doesn't it? Which means we're gonna build as small base as possible, yet as efficient as possible. When you're building the base on the curved area, double check if the walls can actually be placed like this. As you can see, you can build them like this, but you cannot build them like this, just because of the tolerancy, because of the map curvature. Try to pick a little bit flatter grounds. You're gonna start with the double door frames. Just pop them up. Of course, you also need kinda doors for it. And start to build around with a wooden wall, with a hole in the hole with the wall. Now, it depends on what patch you're playing. Sometimes they are gonna snap on the frames, sometimes they won't. They're gonna definitely snap like this on the left, but they won't snap when you're going over there. You can build it right next to each other if they're not snapping. Like I said, it depends on what patch you're seeing. You're gonna see the hole here. Use the wooden palisade from the middle part of those palisades to close the gap, to close that little tiny hole, because people can pick through it and people can actually destroy your chests through it. So there is a simple solution how to avoid that thing from happening. As you can see, now I have a problem with snapping here. You see? Now I have a problem with snapping. I have no clue what the hell is happening, but just place that wooden palisade here and you're gonna be fine. One wooden palisade won't hurt anyone, and one or two wooden palisades on the corners won't kill anyone. People cannot get in, and it is gonna be waste of the grenades for destroying those two palisades just to destroy a couple of your chests. Now, the tip about snapping. The middle part of the screen. You see this high five thingy, high five icon? When you place that high five thingy on any part of the edge, you're gonna get that snap. You see? It works with literally everything. It works with literally everything. That is their mechanic of snapping, but anyways. So on the back end here, you need two palisades like that. Like I said, you can always protect them with the normal wooden palisades. It is gonna take a couple of wood, so it really doesn't matter. And of course, if you have snapping problems, just build a normal palisade, so you can build this thingy like that. And this is a tip that I wanted to say. Just double check if you're happy with the blueprint placement before you start investing materials in. Before I close this, this is not it. This is not the overstructure, by the way. I'm gonna place another wooden door frames here. Actually, you can even place a couple of them right next to each other. And this is gonna be your way to defend your base. Now, when I'm ready, I'm just gonna place those wooden palisades here just to protect the hole in the wall, with a hole in the wall. And I didn't place this thingy here. I really do think that double walls in the holes are a little bit of the overkill, but this is gonna be more than enough. Like, you're gonna have to invest 4 of the wooden logs on each side, which is nothing basically. Now when we are done with that, you can create multiple doors right next to each other. And the reason why we are gonna create multiple doors right next to each other is to protect yourself from any kind of a meta. You can find padlocks scattered around the universe of SCUM. It looks like this. And with using padlocks, you can craft rusty locks. You're gonna need basic survival, I think, to create them. And every single padlock that you find, invest in the doors. No matter how much fame you have, stack those doors. Protect yourself with the combination of the rusty padlocks and the golden locks. Golden locks are gonna, of course, protect you from the lock-picking intruders, and the rusty locks, aka padlocks, are gonna protect your base from any kind of a base wall destruction meta. They're gonna have to invest a lot of time in destroying all of those layers of the double frame, or they're gonna have to invest a lot of fame points, screwdrivers, and the lockpicks to go through the locks, or they're gonna have to invest a lot of grenades to go with the brute force through the wall. This base is gonna literally cost you nothing to build. And of course, don't forget to put a flag inside. I would recommend you to build a flag somewhere a little bit on the left or on the right. To avoid any kind of a problems, I just want to show you one example real quick. When you're opening the base from inside, you do not want to gamble with closing the doors from your vehicle. The way how you're gonna protect your vehicle from the intruders and the way how you're gonna protect your chests from the intruders. By the way, don't worry about the chests. Chests do not have the collision. You can put the chests, you can go through them with the vehicle. Don't worry about it, at least right now. Although flag does have the collision. So that's why I'm saying build a flag or on the right or on the left. It really doesn't matter. But the way how you're gonna protect your vehicle and to avoid any kind of a explosion and self-destruction is, of course, opening the doors from inside out. So doors are sticking outside. You bring your vehicle inside and then you close the doors. You're gonna be 100% safe from any kind of intruders that are gonna mess around with your base. You can also build the wooden platforms on top of your base, and you can climb with your vehicle on top of it to defend your base if you really want it. And those wooden palisades are gonna actually help you with the bullet penetration. You cannot penetrate double walls with the AK, but you can penetrate one, which means this right here, the protection from the in-between, is actually helping even more than you might think. And in cover and in the actual bullet penetration on the wooden palisades. But this is pretty much it. This is the most efficient base currently in the game. The time consumption, the material consumption, everything is just beautiful. And if you're trying to be as efficient as possible, this is it. Downside is that it has only one way in and one way out, which means people will be able to camp your base if they figure out that you're online. So be careful where you are building these kinds of bases, which means this kind of a base is built to protect your vehicle when you're offline, and of course to store extra loot that you actually do not need. Although when you're gonna be online, your vehicle is going to be with you 24/7. Now, I was testing out the door closing on the vehicle, and it seems that your vehicle, despite the fact that it is getting completely destroyed, as you can see, this is probably the worst possible thing that can happen. You will still not have problems with your vehicle. As you can see, you're not taking any damage. But like I said, developers are patching the game inside out all the goddamn time. Those kinds of problems were instantly destroying the vehicle before now they nerfed it. Which means you can brute force it in and out, but like I said, from the patch in to patch out, I would kinda not gamble with that too much. The simple solution to avoid that is, of course, building the palisades a little bit further, so it is 3 times big on both of the sides, not 2, but then it won't be the most efficient base out there. I hope that you guys learned something new from this video. This was my quick tutorial about the best the most efficient, the best bang for buck base out there right now. I hope you guys learned something new. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next. Eroktic out.